That door animation's amazing. He just puts his entire body weight into it, like he's just so into that door. You don't understand how important that door is to him. So I should go visit one of these stores nearby and see if I can sell off some of this mugger gear that I've been picking up for that purpose. Interesting that the crime lord character we encounter is the first person that we have like a prolonged conversation with out of everyone in the game. Have I been up there already? I honestly can't quite make out where I am. Is this the same ladder I kicked down? If so, why did that loot? That looks like it is the same ladder. Weird. Did I not already open that chest last time I came down? Maybe I missed it, or maybe it respawned already. That'd be a bit of a surprise. But I can see if I can sell off my other stuff. Also, the game's telling me I'm fatigued. Apparently, if you sleep, you get an experience bonus.
Hello there. Feel free.
So that's a worthwhile thing to keep in mind. But for now, let's look into selling stuff. Maybe even sell off some of these extra pieces of... all these extra weapons I'm picking up, since we're getting a little... we're a little low on anything else to sell at this point, really. Let's see. This is the one that does more damage, so I'm probably going to want to keep it so for when I get upgrade access. I'll sell off my other weapons for other builds for now. Because by the time if I change my mind about how I want to specialize my character, chances are I'll just gain access to better equipment by then anyway. I have no reason to keep the old shield around in particular. You know, agility for this gun. I mean, the nail gun's useless to me. Although the other items are noticeably more valuable than the nail gun. But a high resistance gun. And a precision gun. Same damage, but the high resistance gun loses a bit of disruption, gains crit hit and speed. Interesting. Disruption chance would be pretty good for that kind of gun, though, I think, because it would actually stop them in their tracks. Either way, second precision gun's not worth keeping around. And now I seem to have 200 serum. So actually, I already totally have the money I need. I'll double check real quick. I think I was reading that screen, right? It wasn't like the merchant... yeah, it was mine. I had to make sure real quick I wasn't reading like the merchant's serum count or something. Again? Already? What if I just like run past you guys? You guys get bored and leave me alone? Is that how this works? They totally just get bored if you walk like 2 steps away from them. Weird. Weird. Really strange. Okay, fine. Fine. The bodies are all still here, but the respawns are already in. Right? You're all respawns? Yeah, you are. So they just have continually respawning gang members just hanging out. So if you want to grind, this game makes it pretty easy, I guess. I'm loaded. It was really easy, actually. Seems like a weirdly small sum.
Mr. Mancer, the sight of your face has started to give me agita. To what do I owe the displeasure this time? If you're ready to settle their debts, I'd be happy to usher them back home.
Very well. If that's the price of their freedom, here it is.
I love it when a deal comes together. How about you free them yourself? Sure, they'd love to meet and thank their most generous benefactor in person. You just have to go to my warehouse. Say, "He who profits deserves honor," to the guards at the entrance, and they will give you the keys. I wish you a good reunion with your friend, Mr. Rogue Mancer. Goodbye.
Why do I get the feeling they're going to be like some sort of weird pile of gore and corpses? Ooh, this bar got interesting. Right off the bat, one of them's called the mutant pen. Oh, right. It's for the type of person that's getting kicked to death in the intro.
What's the deal with the mutant pen?
Well, well. Aren't we just the little inquisitive student today? So eager to learn. So full of questions. Even for mutants, it's unbearably inhuman. Piled into a pen in conditions that I guarantee will, in time, foster revolt. Despite what some profess, they're far from mindless. And thought fueled with rage is a dangerous, dangerous little thing.
What's the word on the curiosities?
It'd be a nice place if you could scrub away the filth and grime and trash. and somehow diffuse the tensions between the anarchist ASC spies and members of our family that boil over. Other than that, though, a charming place. Seriously, though, the hodgepodge of personalities can run their streets with more blood than those arena brawls they're so fond of, which, I'd imagine, would revel in a Mancer brawler, if you ever wanted to try your hand.
What can you tell me about the exchange?
Lovely place, and the only neighborhood open to outcast merchants and business of all kinds. I'd live there permanently in a heartbeat, if it wasn't for the stranglehold of surveillance that suffocates its streets like a well-placed pillow.
How acquainted are you with the slums?
Well acquainted, as I'm sure you are as well, am I right? You've come a long way from your roots among those pickpockets and thieves who give those streets their dirty little charm. But for those willing to work hard enough to ascend from that filth, there's opportunity to rise, even to the esteemed and glorious heights of a Technomancer, I hear.
What do you know about the underworks?
A labyrinth of tunnels infested with filthy little beasts. And unless you're simply looking for a place to escape from the lovingly prying eyes of our motherland, it's more just a place of transit and storage than one where you'd want to plant your roots or even rest your head, unless you're looking to lose it.
That'll be where the dungeons are, basically.
I gotta go.
Then go.
So the slums are probably where a lot of the story and quests and interactions are going to happen, but the underworks are probably going to be essentially the game's dungeons, or at least the ones that's directly tied to the town. That seems like it's just asking to be completely packed with immediate combat encounters. So I believe we were acquainted with this location already.
Anton Rogue sent me. I need the keys to the building.
Oh yeah? And I'm the Towser. What, I'm just supposed to believe you?
I really hope I didn't miss... Oh, did I already forget this? Oh no.
Well, you got the password, so here's the key.
Thanks.
I was like, I remember honor. Uh-oh. They all love honor. Well, that one sounds stupid, so we'll go to this one instead. Was more or less what happened there. Whoops. Can I go through here? Answer is no. That's the wrong way. Oh. Wait, they also open that way? I thought they had to slide open like lunatics, but apparently some of them flap open. It's gonna be a fun guessing game from this point on. I don't know if I noticed a visual difference. Could be my fault.
Door's locked from the other side. Guess we're going around.
You didn't use the key, so screw you. Basically what happened there. Alright, this has to be bad, right? Oh, they're just humans, alive. What the twist in that there's no twist? Hey everyone, I'm just gonna casually wander over here and take whatever you got. RPG characters. Functional sociopaths. No, let's try getting in front of him. Oh, I'm not crazy, I actually just can't talk to him. He's got a missing arm. Sorry, I was not supposed to pay attention to that. Sorry. So are you the only one that... Yep, you're the only one I'm allowed to talk to. The other ones are both mute. Or they know their place.
Who are you? You don't look like a guard to me.
Because I'm not. Name's Zachariah Mancer, lieutenant in Ophir. If you're the merchant who got himself kidnapped from the exchange, I'm here to get you out.
I am indeed. Fiorello, master of the caravan. The shadow still protects me. But I doubt you came to help us out of the generosity of spirit. Am I correct in that presumption?
Ian Mancer, great master of the Technomancers, sent me to talk to you.
Ah, I see. Yes. One of my favorite clients. And a man with whom I, indeed, have some information to share. Aurora has discovered a new site, not far from the Shadow Path. A site filled with objects of incredible condition, and even a relic, as rumor has it.
News I'm sure the great master will be glad to hear. You should go now. Get back on the exchange as quick as you can.
I'm not one to dally, Mancer. I'll see you around, I'm sure.
Information about a new relic, and they're out of here. So now there should just be... I assume that there's just going to be a series of new merchants hanging out around the area now. Well, we haven't... I don't think we... Have we visited the exchange yet? Or was that the starting area? Gotta revisit what the maps are called. Alright, I should probably get sleep soon. This poor guy is not having a great time now. And a lot of money has come in and out of his inventory very quickly. Let's see, judging by the entrances we have, there's workbench, travel, just the vague concept of travel, right there. There's the exchange, report back to Grandmaster. So the place we started in was called the exchange. Good to know. Underworks. There's an arena. Ooh. Love to see how that comes up later. There's a place where you can rest at curiosity. Seems reasonable that I would just go after the, just head back to the exchange for now, though, because my character needs to rest. Don't mind me! Make the slightest move, you're a dead man, he says as I'm sprinting through the area. Yeah. I'll never make the slightest move. You got me. I've got a glimpse of some later stuff in the game, very slightly, to notice that, hey, that's a series of health bars on the side of the screen. So it seems that you must be able to get at least 2 party members in this game, which is immediately an upgrade, because this will be embarrassing if I'm misremembering it, but I'm pretty sure that Bound by Flame only let you have 1 companion, which is frankly kind of bullshit, to be honest. Because, it's when you have a whole bunch of side characters, letting you take one of them around with you at a time basically just means you're never going to interact with the vast majority of them for the entire campaign. Because, I mean, you have to pick one. I want to say that game had like 5 companions, and I think you could literally have one with you at any time, and that was it. Like, you had to trade them off. Which, of course, like, there was one innocent, annoying character that seemed to have that had no apparent skills, and didn't have any reason to be there. And by the end of the game, they arbitrarily acted like we had a connection when I literally never had a single line of dialogue with her or brought her on a single quest, because I'm like, I want to bring all these other people instead. So I just neglected her for an entire playthrough, partly on purpose, just out of curiosity. And much to my surprise, the game just sort of acted like we had a long history with each other all of a sudden, like at the end of the game, because I went evil by the time we got to the end of my Bound by Flame playthrough, and she was like, "How could you do this to me after all we've been through?" And I'm like, "Who are you? We've never talked before." It was an interesting thing to have happen, to have a game's dialogue not account for the fact that you've never talked to somebody before, but still act like you've. It was like playing Mass Effect, but having a character act like you did all of their companion quests when you've literally never recruited them to their party in the first place. It was that kind of weird split. But thankfully there's more party members, so I'll get to spend time with at least twice as many at a time. So I take it that only Technomancers are ever allowed in here and no one else? Because that guy's job is just to stand guard at the door all day just so he can be the other Technomancer that opens the door, because you have to use 2 people. Could I feel like I could just reach both of them at once. Maybe it somehow has to be 2 different power signatures, if that's a thing. Gotta be really awkward if there's ever like an official that like is like the governor of whatever here, if they have any kind of real leadership, and he needs to come visit the Technomancer base to discuss something. Like, and then the doorman's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't let you in, sir." It's like, "What do you mean? I'm the governor here." It's like, "No, I literally can't let you in. If you're not a Technomancer, I can't open the door, and no one else is here right now. Can you come back after lunch?" But maybe this place is super independent and no one ever comes inside. I'm sure they just do all their business off-site. Does lead to the result of this place feeling like a creepy, shadowy cabal, though. So does just these guys, huh? I was wondering for a second there if every Technomancer has white hair, and I just accidentally stumbled into that trend, but all the minor people in the background that don't talk don't have white hair. I've just chosen well.
Zachariah, a pleasure as always. What may I do for you?
I finally managed to meet the merchants you told me about. It wasn't easy. The mob kidnapped them for serum. I freed them before talking to them.
I'm sure gratitude helped to loosen their lips. So what knowledge was gleaned from such lengths?
Word that Aurora is running large-scale excavations along the shadow paths near our territory, and in the process uncovering important objects, maybe even a relic.
Fascinating. Finds that are no doubt better off in our hands than those of Aurora's Technomancers. Keep those merchants close, Zachariah. Information like that is such a priceless commodity. You are no more free to roam than the rest of us. Of that I have no doubt. But if you find yourself with access to a rover and perhaps find a way to that excavation site and locate the relic, well, you cannot know the value it might hold if brought back to us. It may seem petty. It's a mission for some rusty relic that may or may not even exist. However, if you are able to slip away from Ophir...
Do we know what forces Aurora deployed to protect the site?
The greatest challenge shall be their own Technomancers. I am certain they'll be supported by numerous soldiers and laborers willing to lay down their lives in their defense. But I have faith in you, Zachariah Rogue Mancer. Endowed with the intelligence and adaptability that both your names imply, you always find a way. And I wouldn't be surprised if you come out the other side having made new allies.
Zachariah Rogue Mancer. He has got the name of a comic book character. That's fascinating. So it looks like you can talk about all these things with everybody from person to person. So that's a little different. It's like the same sort of pop-ups show up for everybody. Ooh, a few different locations for this character, though.
What can you share with me about the source?
The center of all abundance's power in Ophir, each building a symbol of its proper function, with the source set directly upon an ancient colonist dome that provided the vast bulk of our collection. Fascinating, is it not? Even if vestiges are all that remains of the old dome. To think that there was once a man, exactly where we settled, who had seen Earth with his own eyes, perhaps touched it with his own hands.
That dome we went to with Master Sean, where did it come from?
A relic of the first colonists, long forgotten until after the turmoil, discovered upon the building of Ophir's first shadow path, and finally opened as a place of knowledge by one of our own, transformed into a storehouse for knowledge and secret discoveries until its collapse. So much was lost, but you were not. And if nothing else, I have that to be grateful for. For it is now we need fresh blood more than anything.
Alright, let's get out there then. I think I'm going to focus on this current quest before I even pick up the other one that I also was given at the same time. Just to see where it goes. I increased the number of fluid charges by 1. Yes. That'd be so good. That means I start every... Yes, now I have 3 of them. Now I start every fight with more access to more charges before I have to wait for any of them to recharge. That's going to come in handy for sure. You've got new equipment. So the D-pad actually has shortcuts to these things. And that new equipment is... Oh, the pants. I got new pants. New Technomancer pants. Oh yeah. Thanks for the Technomancer pants. Thank you for this information, Zachariah. Enjoy your new pants. I broke them in for you. That's not weird, right? No, this is weird. Don't question me. You were supposed to bring order. You were supposed to bring balance to the Jedi Order. So they're rather casual about potential deaths and everything like that. Because, I'm off to go check out a place where they're like, oh yeah, it's defended by all these people that are probably glad to lay their lives to defend it. Lay their lives down to defend it, but I'm sure you've got this. It's like you, single-handedly. And I think, didn't he say that they have their own Technomancers too? See, is my fluid recharge listed here? Regen is 0.14 per second. That's not terrible, I think. Anyway, journal, not that one. Yeah, let's go for archaeology in the desert. I'll keep the other one hidden away for now and focus on this one. It'll have a nice sense of continuity to it if I focus on one over the other, instead of going back and forth constantly.
Lieutenant Zachariah Mancer. What a pleasure.
Hello, sir. I don't think I've had the honor of meeting you before.
Ah, of course. I am Colonel Viktor Watcher of the ASC.
Colonel.
At ease, Lieutenant, at ease. Simply came to congratulate you and learned that you become a Technomancer of the highest degree. For a young man from the Rogue family, that is a terrific achievement.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Your road must have been difficult, but you persevered. An outsider who managed to work his way into the ranks of the elite Technomancers. A marvelous story, especially given their secrecy. They've always fascinated me. Do you have any insight as to why they chose to be so insular?
I'm sorry, Colonel, but I don't know what you mean.
What a shame. By coming to you out of friendship and camaraderie, I was hoping that you wouldn't treat me like an outsider, too. All right, then. Back to your duties. But think about what I asked, and we'll see each other again.
Oh my god. Oh, he's gone. Whoa, he's just gone. That's freaky. Also, we had the same hair, which was also freaky. But, the best part was when that other character just walked straight through his body. And I'm like, oh. Okay, this is happening. Tom Goodsman. Did I get a new quest just now? I went the wrong way around that menu. Nope, not the moment. Not the moment. So we need to go to the excavation site. Which I get somewhere. So I need to find a way out of here. Because I believe that... Oh, that's my mouse. I was trying to go towards my mouse like it was a waypoint. This is open space, so I must need to find a way outside. I might not be able to get outside yet. Maybe I do need to follow up on the other topic first so I can get physically outside. All these directions lead to the slums. Let's check out, Mr. Goodsman, then. That'll be something to follow up on. Unfortunately, the excavation site seems to imply that I need to go outside, and I don't currently have a way to go out that I know of. Or I haven't found how to navigate in that way. Are you? Am I supposed to talk to you? No, you're just there? Alright. He looked oddly like he might actually be important in some way. No, there's just people kind of standing around with a sense of importance. Where's Mr. Goodman over here? Right here? There you are. Hey! Everyone's back in town, having a swell old time.
Mr. Mancer, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Big on weaponry, I hope. What can I get you?
Never noticed all the beggars in the neighborhood. This a new thing?
No. They've been here way too long, if you ask me. More and more keep piling in. They're ruining my business. Not a clue where they're coming from. All I know is they keep pouring in, broken and disabled, putting it out there for pity. Clients coming around don't like that. Me and my colleagues would pay a hefty sum to anyone who could get them out of here and move them to the slums or somewhere. You could be that someone? Yeah?
I can try.
That's odd. It's almost like oddly pushy to just get rid of them like that. I'm a little surprised that this is actually a topic to be an issue, to be honest, just because the guards seem really happy to just kick the people to death for not being where they're supposed to be. But I guess that's only racism against a very specific group. Any dialogue about how I saved you?
Hello, Fiorello.
Ah, our savior is here. It's wonderful to see you again.
You seem a bit preoccupied. Things not going well?
No, it has. Everything has gone very well because of your efforts. Let's just say that my leave of absence didn't help my business. Don't think I'm not grateful, friend. I appreciate the thought. What can I do for you?
Listen, maybe I can help. What's going on?
You are too kind. I am so deeply indebted to you. Anyway, yes, I am a little worried. More than a little, to be truthful. 2 of my regular clients, after the kidnapping, must have assumed the worst and just left. Haven't heard from them. No one but you, I admit, cared enough to come to look for me. That said, their merchandise is here, but I have no way of telling them I am back without the risk of exposing myself. I don't mean to treat you like my errand boy. I only ask because you offered your help. Anyway, if you could let them know, I could compensate you as well. One of them I'm sure you know, the barracks quartermaster. The other one is a slums merchant.
You know where the merchant's at?
Of course, of course. If you have a map, I could show you. Bless you, Mancer, 1,000 times over. Bless you for all you've done for me.
It says Warren the Quartermaster? Warren is oddly dramatic. What's the merchandise? Are they gonna get in trouble for being seen around the merchandise? That's what's going on there?
What kind of merch are we talking about?
Boxes of equipment for your quartermaster. From Alliance.
From Alliance? Our rival corporation?
Just one of the many, like Aurora. But Alliance, being at the cutting edge of military research, clearly has goods your quartermaster is interested in.
And what's the merchant buying?
Mostly exotic ammunition. The kind used for hunting. Different prey require different rounds, from my understanding. The more exotic the prey.
I hear you. Thanks.
There we go. So it's contraband. That makes more sense. Also, a fun little moment of the voice actor not getting direction properly. And what's the merchant buying? As like, this is the wrong context there. It's like where he should be like, and what? Because it was immediately after talking about what the quartermaster was buying. He should have then been like, and what's the merchant buying? As in, like, you emphasize the thing that changed. Like, you're talking about, oh, and now what about the merchant? No, but what's the merchant buying? It's like the reverse enunciation. It's what happens when a voice actor gets a whole bunch of lines of text to read, and they just give it to them, and they just do some takes, and somewhere along the way, someone doesn't have the proper context for how the line's being used, so it's just, they just try to have to voice act this line without knowing where it's being used or what conversation it's from or where it's going, and that's why the dialogue feels choppy and detached, is because they were just kind of given a script that may or may not have been continuous, or somebody wasn't directing them to correct when they don't quite emphasize things the right way.
Who's the girl? She doesn't exactly look like a merchant.
It is a good question. I found her tied up in the warehouse that we were dumped in. The poor thing cannot even remember her own name. Figure she must have family or friends around here, though, so I keep her with me, hoping someone might recognize her. Just banking on luck, though. Maybe as an officer, you might be able to check and see if someone has reported her missing. I'm sure her family would be grateful, as I would.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Officer Mancer. You are a man of endless generosity.
We might get busy with this stuff for a little while then, because it seems that the process of just freeing one person real quick, or trying to talk to somebody about a secret, led to so many branching paths. So we have a lot of things we can look into now.
Can I ask what corporation you're from?
You can ask, but you may be disappointed by the answer. None. My parents were traveling merchants like me. The road is my home. Always has been. Not to take anything away from your corporation. Its technical miracles, beautiful city, and all the rest. But I don't think I could ever settle down. There is freedom in having no ties.
So how does it all work? You merchants trade with each other too, or...?
Our lives would be impossible otherwise. The travel required to collect the vast array of goods we purvey would be impractical, to say the least. For instance, a fellow merchant is traveling to your hydroponic farms as we speak, and is gathering goods that he will swap with me to bring back to Alliance's territory. And there are other merchants who trade goods with me from territories even further away, and on and on and on. We would be at a loss without each other, so we stick together. A big family, in a way.
It's actually got to be pretty complicated trying to survive as someone who just trades and doesn't necessarily build stuff. Because then you basically have to always be trading at a certain level of profit so that you can always gain in your system, because you're always losing, because you always have to eat and you always have to survive, which is constantly a drain on your resources, which means every trade has to be trading up or you're screwed.
I can't imagine everything you've seen. How far have you gone?
We can't really leave the shadow paths, but those ways connect nearly all the big cities on the planet. That said, my travels usually take me to Junction Complex, Alliance's main city. A place that would surprise you, I should think. Filled with mechanization that the corporation has rather strangely invested so heavily in. I've also been to Shadowland. Its center is far more baroque, and its slums boggle the mind with how far they stretch. But Abundance's explorers, I know, have gone much further than I. To the ends of the planet, I hear. Maybe one day you might join them on an expedition. Experience the world yourself, rather than just hearing of it secondhand.
Rumor is you merchants have a secret city hidden somewhere.
Ah, yes. The cave we open with the utterance of a magic word to protect our troves of treasures. A tale, Mr. Mancer, nothing more. We are merchants. What goods we have, we sell. To buy more goods, which we sell, and so forth and so on. There is no secret in our ways, or treasures hidden in faraway caves.
Let's check to see if he has anything that helps me with the regeneration. Because he might, but maybe not. Not so much. Let's see here. Nah, it's all flat. It's all a big old goose egg on the fluid regeneration. Now I want to be able to use my spells. That's fine though. Let's see if I have anything to sell back to him then. Oop, what's that? Get my old cadet pants. That'll give me something. I probably don't have a ton of leftover weapons. Yeah, we haven't done much since last time. So that actually quickly turned into a relatively interesting conversation. We're world building here about the idea of like.
Look at you! Glad to see you. Can't tell you how much your help was. It is appreciated. Other things might have worked themselves out in time, but who has time these days? And you sure saved me the hassle. You're a Technomancer?
I am. Zachariah Mancer.
I'm lucky, in name and in life. You Mancers all stick together. Know each other real well, don't you?
Know each other, maybe, but we're scattered between here and the front.
Right. The front. Of course, the front. So, I take it you know where I can find I believe his name is Master Connor?
He's still in town, away from the front, training recruits.
Lucky again. Just what I wanted to hear. Think you might be up to do me a favor?
Either way, I'm here. Tell me what you need.
Simple. To meet Master Connor and relay some information. With your help, of course. Without your help, well, being just a simple merchant, unwelcome outside the exchange, I suppose it'd be a bit harder. If not, impossible. You know as well as I do, a common merchant can't just stroll up to the likes of a master. So, you get me in front of him and I'll owe you one. How about that?
I'll see what I can do.
And I'll be much obliged.
It's freaking me out how his collar looks like it's almost. It looks like it's covered in metal plates that are all stabbing at his own neck. Like that seems like a bad armor design. Is it armor? I think it's armor. It's a little hard to make out what material it's made out of, but if it is armor, it seems like one bad hit to the pauldron would just like impale the neck and then you're doomed. But anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by a surprise cutscene, there was some cool world building there. We're implying that apparently there are multiple cities, and each city is run by a different corporation, very much like you expect from a cyberpunk setting, basically, like the type of stuff you see, like we saw when we played Shadowrun Hong Kong a while ago. That idea, like it's a series of different organizations that run their different channels, and apparently, outside of these places, outside of these cities, we have these things called they call them shadow roads or something along those lines, which seem to be a series of. They got to be a series of covered roads, basically, that connect all the cities, which makes sense, because the implication has been that if you go outside, you're basically dead. So, they have to have covered passages between these locations. Otherwise, how would you get around at all? I'm going to go ahead and... I'm actually going to hide all of my main quests and focus entirely on side quests now. But, yeah, you wouldn't be able to get around at all, really. I guess if you try to wait for night, but you can't really travel at night and hide during the day unless you have some sort of portable cover, I guess, because you certainly aren't going to get anywhere in one day on a place like Mars. So instead they have these shadow rows. I imagine because Mars is covered in large ravines, maybe they just covered them up and used them as these shaded passageways, or maybe there are literally like long tents that cover those kind of passages. They're both conceivable, but it'll be cool to see later. So if you're wondering why it is I'm focusing on side quests, when I played Bound by Flame, every time you'd progress the main story, you would leave that area forever and never get a chance to go back and instantly fail every quest you had in progress there, and there was basically no way of knowing it was going to happen in advance. So it would just completely blindside you and kick you out of the zone for the rest of the game. Don't know if that's the case in this game, but I don't like spoiling myself for stuff, so I'm just gonna be cautious about it for now and see how it goes. And so we'll put the main story on hold while I do the side things first, just in case. It was pretty bad in Bound by Flame's case, how that was handled.